Okay folks, welcome back to another Only Charts video. We have Solana on multiple time frames. We'll talk about a lot of things, guys. We'll talk about certain key areas of values and whether Solana is going to visit them to the downside or not. And then we'll talk about this particular moving average, guys. This has been working out like a charm in terms of the bigger picture for Solana itself, right? So without any further ado, let's see what's happening right here. Now remember, guys, the volatility is starting to pick up from these levels, although it is not that significant, and we are doing this analysis on the hourly time frame itself. But most of these small time frames price actions do extrapolate into bigger time frames itself, right? So the last time we had this volatility getting picked up from almost zero reads was your breakdown from $166 regions that took the price action all the way down towards $130 regions, right? And with that, your DMI was also started to pick up, guys. Remember, this red line is a directional moving index for the asset itself right here. So as you saw the breakdown, the DMI was pushing into positive zones with your DI negative being powerful in the market as well. So that called for a continuation leg to the downside, right? Now, guys, the orange line right here is the DI negative, and the blue line right here is the DI positive. Essentially, whenever the market is in a positive momentum, you'll always see the blue line on top of the orange line itself, right? This indicator is ADX and DMI, guys. You can take a look at this for yourself as well. This one is, I think this one is for free as well in trading view indicator section itself, right? So what is happening in the price action right now? We are kind of losing this grind line to the downside, which kind of negated a lot of bullish biases, guys. I mean, essentially, until we were holding this entire trend line, well, we had bullish biases in the market, right? But we simply lost this one to the downside. And with your DMI also picking up from these levels, while your DI negative being positive in the market, your DI negative being strengthful in the market, this means that this down move is kind of real as of now, guys. So in the extreme small time frames, yes, it's quite certain that we're going to be testing $130 regions for good. And essentially, if we lose this one, we could be looking at another further choppy movement that could continue the price action going down towards maybe $100 regions, guys. Now, why do I talk about these lower price targets? Because look, okay, just to give you a little context of what the price action has been doing literally ever since the inception right here, is the fact that whenever you go through a bullish wave to the upside, for the retracement you come down to 886 or 618, right? 618 for Solana on the first bullish leg was quite significant, guys. As you can see right here, this entire bullish leg to the upside had the retracement coming down at 0.618 one time, two time, and three times. After that, we kind of broke down all the way towards the 7 and 6, which was your ultimate bottom itself, right? Now on the second leg to the upside, when we took this entire run, guys, I mean, essentially Solana went from $1.2 all the way towards $60, almost $60, right? We had the retracement come in once again at 0.618, right? Key area of interest for Solana, 0.618 itself. And as soon as we stabbed this area, all right, guys, we did stab this one for 1, 2, 3, 4 times, confirming the support. With Bitcoin being bullish in the market, that was the confirmation that yes, 0.618 is going to be areas of values for Solana itself. And the figure was also rounded, guys. $20 regions on Solana was quite significant, right? Price action got picked up from 618 and $20 regions, and it went all the way towards, well, everyone knows that, guys, a 10x in the market, more than 10x in the market, $250 regions, right? Now, in this kind of price action landscape, which is looking to me like a pretty distributed price action, right? This is the daily time frame, and we have spent a lot of time going sideways in this range, guys. So this is more or less a distribution kind of situation going on in the market. We do not have any FOMO based price action. We don't have any short squeezes in the market, because let's just say the bigger interest, the higher side of things, and well, the money, the institutions that are quite significant are kind of not playing the directional game, guys. At least they're not playing the upside directional game, right? Conservative behaviors on the way for institutions, and the liquidity is probably going to get dried out of the market, guys, which is why we are looking at this choppy behavior. Anyways, if you talk about the 6-minute retracement from this entire bullish leg to the upside, we're going to be talking about $100 regions, guys. $100 regions for Solana. That is going to be right beneath this wick low. Now, essentially, I won't say the best strategy, but the good strategy would be to start scaling into Solana as soon as we approach this wick low at $170 regions, guys. Now, am I going to be playing this? Probably yes. Probably yes. I'm going to be playing this move to the downside. Essentially, I'm going to be scaling into Solana as we move towards $100 regions, guys. This is another rounded figure, to be honest with you. And coming from the top at $260 regions, that would be more than a 60% pullback, I do believe, right? All right, 60% pullback to the downside. So that's kind of aligning with the 618. That is areas of values for Solana. Remember, in the small time frames, we have been continuing the trend, guys, ever since this grind line broke down. we have only had grinds breaking down, guys. We have only had all the grinds that are simply breaking down again and again and again and again, right? We're looking at another resolution which is going to be coming down which is probably going to be coming pretty soon, right? Bitcoin is not looking that strengthful, guys, which is why we can kind of have this bearish bias in the market until we are below $150 regions flat. Until you see any daily closures below 100, okay, until you see any daily closures above $150 regions on a trending basis, most likely there is, I don't think any bullish bias is going to be playing out for good, guys. Most likely we're going to be chopping around this region for a very long time, and wait for the price action to approach the key areas of values at least 0.618, guys. Now remember, this kind of depends on what Bitcoin does that when Solana kind of scales down all the way towards these levels. If Bitcoin goes massively, humongously bearish in the market, and if Ethereum loses $3,000 to the downside, probably staying away from Solana and figuring out its own bottom is going to be the better strategy in the market rather than nitpicking the bottoms, guys. But essentially, due to the historical relevance of this entire zone, the 618 levels, as you've seen this happening again and again and again, maybe we can do this one more time, guys. I do not have any other reason to believe that, right? Because it has happened literally 3 times. So the statistical analysis is telling us that yes, this is a likely event. We go towards 618 and then we go for a bounce, right? Waiting for Solana to come at 104 is going to be the strategy, at least for now, guys. I don't see any long posture to be taken out right here on these levels, as Bitcoin is also looking weak in the market, right? So it's kind of like pointless to really expect some good bullish momentum coming from Solana in the small to mid time frames itself. Now, off we go to the main part of this video once again. I think I'm talking about this moving average for the 5th time right here. The relevancy is just too high, guys. I mean, it's just the 350 simple moving average, the Fibonacci moving average, guys. It's the Fibonacci number itself, 350, right? So the 350 simple moving average on Solana has always told us that we are probably on the bigger side of things. We are probably, let me just change the color for this. I think it's not going to be that visible until I do that. Okay, looks fair to me, I guess. So until we stay beneath the 350 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, we go through accumulation phases, right? We go through a lot of sideways choppy behavior, a lot of institutions a lot of bigger players in the market kind of unloading their Solana stash, guys. So, well, until we are below the 350 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, having that crazy bullish bias is certainly going to punish you in the market, guys. I'm not going to lie right here. This is something which has been happening, right? I mean, another fact leading towards one single thing, just like the Fibonacci ratios itself, you can see that you can see that the 618 has been always working out, guys. The previous three times, whenever the price action came down towards 618, it got picked up, right? So we do have reasons to believe that maybe this is going to be the buy zone, and we do have reasons to believe that the 350 moving average on the 4-hour time frame is going to be the sell zone, guys. Now this is the closest that we can get in terms of the moving average oscillations, guys. Certainly it takes more than a freaking moving average analysis in the market. It takes a lot of quant analysis, and more or less it takes the execution side of things, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all going to be dependent on how you're executing and how you're playing this game of trading in the market, right? And more or less it also boils down into one fact: how are you managing your risk? Are you even aware about the fact that if the XYZ asset is probably going to go down by XYZ%? Are you aware of the fact that the amount that you lose is less than 1% or not? Maybe these things are way more important than looking at the y-axis and the price levels, like, oh my god, Solana is going to run towards $1,000. Sort yourself out before looking at the y-axis, guys. This is something which kind of took a long time for me as well to just simply take care of all of this unnecessary bullshit. But essentially, what you have to do is you have to simplify your process for trading itself, right? And clear-cut fact for Solana right here, with clear-cut moving averages telling us clear-cut things. Okay, guys, I hope this video was helpful. A lot of analysis, TA hocus focus on its way. If you found this helpful, hit that like bell, subscribe, all the good things. I'm going to catch all of you pretty soon. Bye for now.